Joy Reid's show, the ReidOut, ended tonight. And Joy is not taking a different job in the network. She is leaving the network altogether. And that is very, very, very hard to take. I am 51 years old. I have been gainfully employed since I was 12. And I have had so many different kinds of jobs, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. But in all of the jobs I have had, in all of the years I have been alive, there is no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect than Joy Reid. I love everything about her. I have learned so much from her. I have so much more to learn from her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC. And personally, I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door. It is not my call, and I understand that, but that's what I think. I will tell you, it is also unnerving to see that on a network where we've got two, count them, two non-white hosts in primetime, both of our non-white hosts in primetime are losing their shows, as is Katie Fang on the weekend. And that feels worse than bad, no matter who replaces them. That feels indefensible, and I do not defend it.
MSNBC host Joy Reid's program, The ReidOut, has been axed, and that couldn't have come soon enough. As a news host, her analysis wasn't just full of lies. She earned herself a reputation for constant race baiting and making commentary that was divisive and unhinged. Her strong go-to argument was labelling Trump's team a party of racists and Nazis.
We've laid out the stakes in this crucial election, where one side stands for freedom while the other meets the textbook definition of fascism, namely a far-right dictatorial regime like Hitler's Germany or Franco's Spain or Mussolini's Italy, but also white-ruled South Africa before Mandela and the black majority took control, or Vladimir Putin's Russia, Viktor Orban's Hungary, or Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela today, that suppresses the rights of women and minorities, uses the military to execute the whims of a strongman dictator, and controls and suppresses the press, education, the arts, rewrites history to suit a favored and dominant racial class.
But she also used her program to mock police officers who wanted to make their own personal choices about their health and were fired because they didn't get the COVID jab.
Putting Americans in danger. Officers and unions who are fighting against vaccine mandates, which essentially means fighting to make the public sick, are tonight's absolute worst.
But what about the day-to-day issues, the issues that impact voters? Well, she missed the mark there too. According to Joy Reid, inflation isn't something that Americans really know about. Actually, it's something that they've been taught by evil Republicans.
The people I ever hear use the word inflation are journalists and economists, right? So that is not part of the normal lexicon of the way people talk. So it's interesting that Republicans are doing something they don't normally do, right? Which is not use the common tongue, right? Not use just common English to sort of do on their campaigns like they're doing with crime. But what they've done is they've taught people the word inflation, right? Yeah. Most people who would have never used that word ever in their lives are using it now because they've been taught it.
And her political analysis was just as sharp. She tried convincing her audience that Kamala Harris had an excellent campaign. In fact, it was flawless because she had woke celebrities on board.
I mean, this really was an historic, flawlessly run campaign. Queen Latifah never endorses anyone. She came out and endorsed. She had every prominent celebrity voice. She had the Taylor Swift, she had the Swifties, she had the Beehive. Like, you could not have run a better campaign in that short period of time. And I think that's still true.
Just makes you wonder why her ratings were dropping. Let's bring in Brianna Lyman, elections correspondent at The Federalist. Brianna, thanks so much for your time. Look, Joy Reid has posted a video today, absolutely in tears, insisting that her show added value, and there was really no reflection about how divisive her program had become.
Yeah, look, Joy Reid, these tears don't really matter because just a few years ago, she mocked white women and white men for having white tears, said she didn't care, and now she is the one crying. Also, it's just kind of funny, like you said, there's no self-reflection, there's no introspection. She says that her show adds value. Look, when Donald Trump won the election, MSNBC's primetime viewership dropped 53%. It's since fluctuated a little bit, but it just goes to show you how many Americans have tuned out, and she does not realize that they've tuned out specifically to nonsense like hers that she spews. So the reason she thinks her show adds value is because she has yet to step outside that echo chamber. But now that she's been fired, she has plenty of time to do that.